Hello everyone and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, and today we've got 3 great decks for you and a second video coming out on the Comic Book Click channel. So if you're looking for content for Thing First Steps, the new card comes to Marvel Snap today, that'll be on Comic Book Click at Daily Reset. But for now, we've got 3 incredible decks for you, including one that I can't seem to lose with. The first, however, is the Chamo Wiccan deck. Wiccan has come back to the metagame right now, largely because we've seen significantly less Galacta and that style of power deck, which means that Wiccan is back. What made Wiccan bad for a little while was that Galacta was so good. You only really need to play the best card on 4, right? You're only running 1 or 2 4s in your decks, and oftentimes Shadow King and those other cards are going to be among them. Shadow King, Shang-Chi and Enchantress are going to be among those cards. Wiccan was taken out, therefore, because he has high deck building demands by Galacta or Gwenpool, who do not have those high demands. With Galacta nerfed, with Gwenpool good but not quite as good, Wiccan has made a major return, and unsurprisingly, Chamo, a top player who was always a Wiccan main prior to Wiccan's downfall, going back to the card in a well-known good cards shell. You can find Chamo playing this list at twitch.tv/Chamo92. He is primarily a Spanish speaker. This deck needs Alliance, Cannonball, Wiccan, Mercury, Gladiator, and Fenris. And when you look at that shell, you should recognize that that's the good stuff shell that has been around for a while, except with Alliance because of Wiccan, and Wiccan giving you the extra energy to mess around with cards like Alliance and Shadow King. Merlin can be Kate Bishop or Penny Parker here. Merlin is best of slots, but either of those work. Those cards are there to give you a 1-drop to play on turn 3 with a 2 in order to better enable your Wiccan curve. Iron Patriot can be Mirage. Okay, let's go through card by card. So Quicksilver is your turn 1 player. Turn 2, generally speaking, if you don't have a 3-drop, you should always play Merlin. You will suck it up and play Shadow King on turn 2 fairly often if you already have Wiccan, though don't feel obligated to otherwise. Fenris Wolf, Iron Patriot, and Mercury are all acceptable turn 2 plays. You're going to have to look at your hand to determine which you want to do. If you've got an immediate Gladiator play, Negasonic, maybe you want to get Fenris out. If you've got Cannonball already, maybe you want to get Wiccan out. Or if you think they might be playing a Werewolf, like if they played a Hood. Hood doesn't always mean Werewolf, but it can mean Werewolf. I don't hate dropping a Mercury early. Or an Iron Patriot is often a decent play into that Hood lane because that lane is hard for them to win, and you are more likely to win it. Mobius here is just an extra tech card. That's literally what he is. He's just saying, I don't feel like losing. I want to be the one cheating energy with Wiccan. I don't want you cheating energy with whatever you're doing. It's a powerful card. It can get skipped a fair amount of games, but it is one of the better 3s to play on 3. Negasonic and Gladiator here for Fenris. We're not running Shang-Chi. Cannibal and Mercury are playing the role of Shang-Chi here, so Negasonic and Gladiator are sort of proactive, get rid of your opponent's cards, give me something good to Fenris. If you can't get the Mercury Cannibal thing going, Gladiator or Negasonic usually gives you something decent enough to make Fenris at least like a 2-6 to 2-8, which is plenty good stats. Wiccan is obviously our energy cheat. Wiccan does things like let us play Cannonball and Mercury on the same turn, play Alliance and still get another card out, and like a Shadow King out in another lane. Those kinds of things are extremely powerful. Wiccan is the only card in the game that on turn 4 that allows us to do those things, and thus he is so good. Cannonball is here largely for Mercury, but if you've managed to win a lane, let's say you've got a Negasonic lane that you know they can't compete in after turn 5, Cannonball can fundamentally guarantee you that turn 6, or if they clog themselves in any way, shape, or form, Cannonball can guarantee you that turn 6. And then, of course, we have Alliance as a way to shut down any combo, anything the opponent is trying to do. Alliance on turn 5 remains one of the most powerful things you can do in the game. If you have a Wiccan curve, very often that also means that you are going to have priority, and being able to Alliance off some key cards like a Nihilus or Sarah or so on is just going to win you a lot of games of Snap. But don't be afraid to obviously Alliance on turn 6, hitting cards like Silver Surfer or Brood are likewise game winners. Merlin, just a little bit extra about him because I realized I glossed over him. You have a few cards that are sort of used up in this deck, and Merlin gives you something to do with them. You can either turn them into a mini Wiccan, so let's say Quicksilver will always be on the board, right? You want 2 extra energy, you don't see Wiccan, or you have extra energy with Wiccan, you want more, you can throw Quicksilver back into the deck, getting yourself more extra energy. You can use a used Fenris Wolf, a used Iron Patriot, a used Mobius going into the last turn, a used Negasonic, and turn those into 1 cost higher cards, which are very effective places to play in Marvel Snap. So Merlin has that extra ability, those extra abilities that are really nice, and of course, being a 2/5 with location change is also very good. Chamo is ranked in the top 10 right now once more at a 57% win rate in 300 games. Turn 1 Quicksilver, turn 2 Merlin over Fenris, which is more or less equal to Iron Patriot or Mercury. Obviously, read the board. Turn 3 Gladiator, a 2+1 or Mobius. Again, read the board. We will be forced to drop Mobius if they drop negative. So, like if they played a Ravona, please drop Mobius. If they played if you're not sure what they're doing, generally speaking, I would go Gladiator, but a 2+1 if you're worried about hand size, if you've been drawing cards, is reasonable too. Turn 4 Wiccan, and if we're not Wiccaning, we're doing a turn 3 play. Just nice and simple. If you've got Wiccan, please snap. Anytime someone plays Wiccan and doesn't snap me, I feel like they've given me a gift. Turn 5 Eliath, or combo of cards. The last Fenris is great with either Gladiator or Negasonic here. Like, this is your last chance to play Fenris because he's an activate. If you have Wiccan, remember that you can drop Mercury and Cannonball together on the last turn, so you don't feel like you have to do that here. But comboing cards here, just like Gladiator and Fenris or Gladiator and Negasonic is great. Dropping a Merlin and dropping a Gladiator, dropping a Mercury and dropping a Gladiator is still a really, really strong combination. You end the game with either Eliath or Cannonball with Mercury or Shadow King, as the case may be, and that's usually enough to win you the game. This is where good stuff lives now. I think there's quite a few good stuff lists, but Chamo is often the force in the meta that drives us toward the best of those lists, and if this is where he's looking, this is what he's playing at the High Infinite, this is probably where we want our tech list to start to go. So we are going to end up, I would assume, adding extra tech in this as time goes on, but this is where we are again starting in the current meta as the best, like, sort of good stuff mid-range list. We're going to get to the key deck of the day, but before we do, please hit that subscribe button if you are so inclined. We do our very best to bring you a Marvel Snap video every single day. This video, even though we have moved around the world, we will have at least minimum 8 videos. So if you are interested in the most Marvel Snap content and the best decks before anyone else gets them to you, please hit that sub, drop a like, leave a comment. That like and comment, once you're subbed, can also enter you to win Mr. Fantastic First Steps. We are giving away one this week. All you have to do is leave that sub, like, and comment, and we will announce at the end of the week the winner. We will ask you to leave a specific comment later this video. Next up, we've got ongoing Hand Razr. Yep, it's another Wiccan list, but this one is, I don't know how to put it. I feel like I can't lose with this. So I've been doing my dailies, right? I've moved around the world. For anyone who missed it, I moved to Vietnam from New York about as you're watching this, almost exactly a week ago. And so I've been having to play a lot on my phone and just like sort of keep things going as I've been like shopping and stuff. And I've been playing this list a ton and since the weekend, and I feel like I can't lose with it. And like when I lose, it's really, really obvious early that I'm going to lose and I can run away. But I'm also winning a lot of big cube games. So I've been playing like stuff that I can't like handle on my phone a decent amount and then falling, and then I play this and just immediately climb back up. This one feels incredibly strong, at least until this gets around. No one on Earth seems to expect Onslaught, and having access to Onslaught and Moonstone gives you such a power spike. You can play them in the same lane and go like, oh my god, I've got like triple Victoria Hand, or you can play them in different lanes and go like, okay, so I've got a doubled speed in one lane and Onslaught's like doubling Mr. Fantastic Victoria Hand in another. I've got Moonstone on Quinjet, so I can play all sorts of shenanigans with Agent Coulson, like just absolutely wild stuff with this list. I cannot speak highly of it enough. The creator of this list, to the best of my knowledge, is Hand Razr, the 15-year-old Marvel Snap prodigy, who was number 1 on the Infinite leaderboard last season. You can find him at twitch.tv/darkdrk. No A in that one, _RAZR. This needs Cape Bishop, gives you 2 cheap cards for Victoria Hand, Moonstone, which is kind of the point of the deck, Moonstone with Onslaught, Wiccan, you need the extra energy, and Speed because it's the biggest 3 ongoing. If you are lacking speed and really want to try this, I suggest Punisher. If you lack Iron Patriot, you can play Mirage. Alright, so Ant-Man is here just because he gets big. You are fairly likely to be doubling Ant-Man in a lane, and all of a sudden, for that 1 energy, you are getting basically 4 extra power out of him. That's obviously very strong. It also gives us an extra 1-drop to play for our Wiccan curve. We are running a Wiccan curve that does not run Quicksilver or Domino here, so we need to run 3 1s and 3 2s. Maria Hill is the 1-drop that goes in our non-Quicksilver Wiccan decks. That's fundamentally her main purpose in the metagame right now. She is a 1-drop, so if you don't draw one of your 3 2s, she gives you one of those 2s. That's all she's really here for. However, her 2-drop is decent because Victoria Hand makes it so. Quinjet also makes her 2-drop a 1-drop later in the game. Quinjet is one of the most important cards in the deck. If you can get Quinjet with Moonstone, you're getting -2 on the Coulson cards, which is really what you're talking about here, or the Iron Patriot card. That for the Coulson card, that's going to give you a 1 and a 2. that are really a 4 and a 5, which is absurd, right? Sorry, a 1 and a 2. A 4 becomes a 2, and a 5 becomes a 3. If you manage to somehow get all 3, or the Wiccan curve on top of that, you're really, really, like, stacking power in a major way. Quinjet ends up being absolutely pivotal in this deck, and we're not seeing nearly enough Mobius in this meta to stop him. Okay, Bishop is, again, your cheap, easy power. If you're getting Victoria Hand with a double buff, right, now you're giving +4 to anything. That's a 1/7 arrow. We love to see it. Or we even get an extra Pim arrow for the double ongoings, which is going to be 1/5 +3, so that becomes a 1/8 if you fill that lane. That kind of thing is absolutely wild. Cape Bishop remains a must, and for me, in any Victoria Hand list. Iron Patriot is not amazing here, right? Like, he's perfectly fine to be replaced by Mirage. I'm not convinced he's even better than the newly buffed Mirage. But Iron Patriot's ability to get you a card on the cheap and it gives you some snap ability when your opponent doesn't know what it is remains unmatched, thus he is in the deck. Victoria Hand is a buff. It doesn't have a million cards to buff in this. It has the Iron Patriot card, the Cape Bishop card, the Maria Hill card, and the Agent Coulson cards. So you have plenty, to do with Victoria Hand here, but she's not like the only way to win with the deck. You can win a reasonable number of games by doing silly things like going Mr. Fantastic into Speed, into Moonstone, into Onslaught, right? Like, that's perfect. That's a perfectly acceptable way to win games of Marvel Snap in this metagame, especially if you can get a little extra power in one of those side lanes, or one of those extra lanes is one that the opponent will have trouble competing in. Mr. Fantastic is my least favorite card on the deck, straight up. I don't like him, but he does offer some stuff to the deck that nothing else does. A lot of the cards here go tall in one lane. The Ant-Mans, the Speeds of the world, Victoria Hand and Mr. Fantastic give you ways to go wide in side lanes, go wide in the lane you're not playing the Moonstone and Onslaught in. Also, people often count against you once you're good enough at the game, and Mr. Fantastic doubling gives you the ability to not really have to worry about that. Speed is just big. You're playing a Wiccan curve, so you should be able to get speed to an 8-9 power card. If you've got an 8-9 power speed, you should be able to, and you giving 8 or 9 power to like your Onslaught or your Moonstone, you should be able to win that lane usually. Agent Coulson gives you unpredictability. Again, this deck, thanks to Agent Coulson, thanks to Iron Patriot, thanks to Onslaught, has unbelievable snap equity. You are getting far more cubes from snapping than your opponent's usually going to get from snapping you, because you know what you have and they have absolutely no idea. Moonstone doubles, again, all the same cards. All of the ongoing cards except Onslaught are doubled by Moonstone, so that's great. And Cape Bishop gives you access to another. Wiccan gives you extra energy, so you can do things like Onslaught on 5, Moonstone and whatever on 6, Moonstone and Speed on 6, Moonstone Speed and Kate Arrow on 6, all that kind of good stuff. And then Onslaught is just completely unpredictable. No one knows it's coming. It is a crazy amount of power spike in this deck. Like, people will be like, oh, I could just go over that nice, easy Victoria Hand speed lane, especially if Moonstone's sitting somewhere else with Quinjet or with Mr. Fantastic, and then you just drop an Onslaught on their head. It's also incredible on the Moonstone, where you can just basically make Moonstone copy everything twice, and just, it's crazy. Right now, Dark Razor is rank 3 after being rank 1 last season. With this deck, he went 21-5, 81%. I unfortunately do not have my stats, but because I've been playing largely on my phone. But I did specifically play this deck a ton on my phone. I fell down to like rank 700, and I climbed back to 500 immediately, multiple times with this. Turn 1, Maria Hill, if no 2-drop over Quinjet over Ant-Man. Turn 2, Kate, if no number 3 over Victoria Hand over Iron Patriot. Turn 3, Speed, Coulson, or 2+1 over Mr. Fantastic. Honestly, you're going to have to read the board to decide. I tend to go Speed on 3 and Coulson on 5, but there are obviously situations where the opposite is preferred, especially if you don't have anything good to do on 4 yet. Or if you already have your Quinjet stuff going. Turn 4, Wiccan over Moonstone. Wiccan is a snap. Moonstone with almost anything good is a snap. Turn 5, generate cards and an ongoing. And then turn 6 is Onslaught or Moonstone Plus. And we should be good to go. This list is crazy strong. You're not doing anything with tech unless Coulson decides to be nice or Maria Hill decides to be nice, but you are doing things with unpredictability. You are putting power in unpredictable levels, using unpredictable cards at unpredictable places, having more energy and resources thanks to Quinjet and Wiccan than opponents. That is a form of card advantage in Marvel Snap, and that's what this deck is trading on in order to be one of my favorite decks in quite a while. Props to Dark Razor for this one. I really, really love it. Check out twitch.tv/PulseLaser. I am once more hoping to be live as this video goes live. I cannot swear to that. Honestly, jet lag has been absolutely crushing my ass. Once it gets to nighttime, I'm really, really good during the day, and then like my body clock is just like, oh man, it's a weird time for you. You haven't slept in a long time, and I've been crashing. I will be streaming relatively soon. I will be getting back into the schedule. The regular schedule is going to be most weekdays at what amounts to 8 a.m. Eastern or 7 a.m. Eastern or 9 a.m. Eastern, something in that area, early in the morning Eastern, and then weekends I should be streaming. I should be streaming at like 7 or 8 p.m. So please check out twitch.tv/pulseglazer. Our season pass question is really simple. What do you think of the thing first steps? Remember that on youtube.com/@comicbookclick, we will have that video. We'll have 4 great new decks for you with that card, including one that I think is actually good and 3 that might be a little more copy because I'm not sure the card is great. But we actually, well, 2 of the decks I'm pretty sure of it. 1 deck I'm not sure is good because of the thing. Get ready for the vlog coming. Again, my microphone is here. We finally found it. We cut the freaking bag open. We have the mic to start the vlog. So get ready at youtube.com/@pulseglazer, please. Don't forget the streams. All right, next up we got Toxic 3. So Toxic is a player longtime viewers might remember from, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. He quit Marvel Snap for a little while and came back and immediately climbed back into the top 10/top 20. He went to 70 with a version of this that ran like Misery and Anti-Venom, and then decided that that wasn't the best way to go, adding instead Grandmaster and Bast, and climbing all the way into the top 10. I don't believe he's still in the top 10. I just woke up as I'm recording, full disclosure, but he was for quite a while with this. This one is really great and entirely unpredictable. There are 2 Cerebro 3s that are all over the place, the standard and the discard. Neither one looks very much like this, and so this one gets extra cube equity by being unpredictable. I'm trying to make sure I get back to giving you these like once we know the meta, giving you these decks that like sort of shake up our foundation. Toxic is the creator of this list. This deck needs Ravonna, Kate and Grandmaster could be Sentinel, Invisible Woman, or Red Guardian. Okay, so you're looking at this going like, but the demon is a 1/6. Why the hell do I want a demon in my Cerebro deck? Because there are game plans where you win without Cerebro, fundamentally. Cerebro can auto win you a Valkyrie lane, right? That's or you can use Iron Man to win a lane because Iron Man plus, let's say you go Iron Man, Mystique in one lane, right? Because you have Ravonna, don't forget. You go Iron Man, Mystique, that is a doubled lane, and you just play a regular old, like, Kate Bishop and a Cosmo there, right? Like, you now probably won that lane. People aren't really competing that lane. How do you win another lane? Valkyrie and Demon should do the job for you here. Valkyrie is really, really good with Hood because Hood gives you the -3 that you that helps lose you priority. You can even do 2 demons with that Grandmaster in order to play 1 in a Valkyrie lane in order to make sure that you in that Valkyrie lane, that is 6 energy. If you get extra energy, which is unlikely in this deck but not impossible, if you get extra energy through whatever means, you can go Valkyrie, one demon on the Iron Man lane, just fine. Bast means your Hood is a 3, so maybe just don't play that demon, and now you just have a whole hand of 3 drops, and you should be totally fine. Perfectly acceptable with your Cerebro Mystique combo right now. Bast also has several really good targets outside of just like the Hood. You can hit Cerebro Mystique, you can hit Iron Man, you can hit Luke Cage. I'm not sure if I love Luke in this deck, to be perfectly honest. I get why he's here, but like, and Ravonna, I get Ravonna. But like, once we're already committed to like having a second plan, I don't know if I need Luke to protect my first plan. You know what I mean? Alright, Ravonna makes Iron Man, Cerebro, and Mystique cheaper. That's fundamentally the entire use of the card. We're happy to make them cheaper. It is a really good place to be. Again, if you're going to play Ravonna, do yourself a favor. Play it in the right lane, because that is the lane you're very likely to Valkyrie in my experience. You can Valkyrie anywhere, right? But like, I don't know why, but I very, very often end up Valkyrie in the right lane. It feels like the lane that's least likely to get Cosmoed and so on, because opponents start playing there later. Grandmaster is here for 2 specific cards, although don't sleep on the other 2 uses. Or so you can hit Valkyrie, right? Like if you play Valkyrie on 5, turning a second lane into a Valkyrie lane on 6 is completely crazy strong. Make sure you're playing Valkyrie in your corner for that. You can get a second demon, which is sometimes good, sometimes whatever. The second Bast is very underrated. You draw some cards that you want to really, really Bast again after you've played your first one. Feel free to Grandmaster that card over. And then like you can change a Kate or a Scarlet Witch, that's fine, but those aren't like actually your important plays here. Grandmaster again, Kate Bishop gives you access to a 1/3, 1 -2, which is excellent for you. And you have to be careful with the Pim arrow, but the Pim arrow in particular can win you a lane in those Iron Man type games, especially because that'll help you go over the top. You don't need Cerebro in those cases. It works like Ant-Man used to, where the ongoing will stack on top. The +3 of it will stack on top of the Valkyrie and win you that Valkyrie lane without Prime. And then of course we have the whatchamacallit, the normal arrow, whatever it's called, basic arrow. That one we don't care about. From there, we go Scarlet Witch. It's just a 3 cost to change locations. Cerebro and Mystique buff your whole board. Don't forget that you can Mystique Iron Man just as easily as you can Cerebro. When you do that, however, you are often doing that with Rapona. There are times you're going to go Iron Man on 5 into Mystique and like Cosmo on 6, but it is much, much rare. That game is like when you get Monster Island. Luke Cage protects you from negative affliction. Cosmo protects you from from extra nonsense. Iron Man doubles your power. Very, very strong, especially with like literally any Cosmo. Like if you Cosmo a demon, right? Like you've got a 1/9 demon, you've now got 18 power that lane from Iron Man, you should be good to go. And then of course Valkyrie takes away power. She is like Shang-Chi with a million times more cube equity. Turn 1 Bast over Hood, turn 2 Ravonna over Kate, Scarlet Witch as you need from here on out. Again, try and make sure that you're playing around the corners with your on-reveal cards in case you want both. If you might want to on-reveal Valkyrie though, like you want to keep on-reveal cards in one lane, and then if you might want to on-reveal Valkyrie, you're going to have to keep a lane open for that too, so you're not accidentally on-revealing the wrong thing. Sorry, Grandmastering the wrong thing. Cerebro, Cosmo, or Luke on turn 3, and Cerebro can be a snap condition, especially if you feel like you can protect it. Turn 4, Iron Man is also often a snap. You can also go 2/2. If you played Ravonna, just dropping Cerebro Mystique here is reasonably brutal. Turn 5, Bro and Mystique, Valkyrie or Iron Man, any combination. If you played Iron Man, you can now go Mystique and a 2-drop just fine. Like, feel free to go around, decide. Turn 6, Valkyrie and a 1, or Grandmaster, Cerebro, or Demon. Go off, have fun. This list is really, really good and entirely unexpected. Today is the day of the wildly unexpected list for you to steal cubes with. They're all extremely powerful, but all are going to require play and decision making. If that sounds like the right decks for you, give this one some love. Come check out the stream team if you're missing some streams and want to see some great Marvel Snap. Some of our great friends are streaming. Today is Tuesday, so the great Prashant should be streaming at 12 p.m. Eastern. Please check out our friend Prashant. Question of the day, real simple. Ted Pro says, I imagine you're learning about Vietnam as you're planning to move there. I've now moved. What's the most exciting thing you've learned? So I live here, and I've learned a ridiculous amount of stuff. Outside of learning that banh mi is incredible, I've learned that like their style of coffee is unbelievable. It is basically salted coffee to break the bitterness with condensed milk, and it is served iced, and it is unfreaking-believably delicious. It is, because of the condensed milk, kind of unbelievably unhealthy also, because I usually drink my coffee black. See? Black iced coffee. But it's fantastic. That is one thing I've learned that I really, really love. I started work. I've got so much to say. I got to get this blog going. Like, toot sweet. So, stay tuned. Alright, please check out patreon.com/snapjudgments if you are inclined. The channel could really use some more support if you are willing to. We provide a exclusive video a week, early access to videos, and much, much more. So if you're interested, please do check it out. Jonesy Snap 22 is our patron of the month. Thank you to Abigail Gleason, Mandatory Burnout, Regardless, LAB, Inc., I Am Frostman, Hota Navarrete, Primed Ryan, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood Snap, let's go back for a second. Please check out I Am Frostman on Twitch, Ryan Wood Snap on YouTube. Ryan Wood Snap's YouTube is killing it. If you're not checking it out, you're missing out. Jonesy Snap 22 is also producing amazingly hilarious content over on his YouTube. Go for Kev, Keltor. Here, did I skip Renwrench? Renwrench, just in case I skipped you. Sorry, Ren. Go for Kev, Keltor. Name change. I replied to you, by the way, on Patreon, Keltor. Kier Tixley, King of Questions, Koiray, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Pyropros, The Goat Seeker, Goatsy, Code, Hallowed, Sim, Dick, Absolute Shannon, Nightmare, Dirty Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, hopefully you're doing well, friend, I haven't heard from you in quite a while, Ginger Prime, Philly, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Candy Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, BlackTubus23, Xrc, and Skippy G, Rhyming Friends, Jessica Gamble, Mr. Slush Death, The King of Bros, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Gibbs, The Hood, Clam, Colonel Foreman, Rob Zillman, David J. Wingfield, Stephen, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., Mr. Cricksterry, Matt V., Corwin, John Q, and Jimmy McHugh, Q-Town, E. Stout, 8th Sage, One Big Man, Luke Member Reels, Cactus Jack, Reapser, Steve0131, Yo Marco, Ted Pro, Quid Pro Joe, Snap Decisions Joe, Bickety Boom Bot, Bricks 2 Clicked, Goblin, Unibot V2, Flan 36, Spectrumix, Only Fox, Matt H, DJ Megadics, No Freckle Flex, Nick, The Greek Geek, Hey Nikki, Tactic Soul King, Zadric 74, The King of JJ, Denman, Falcon, Pop Thor Newman, Two Ties, The Great Learner Devs, The Pirate King Tucker, and of course Gunny T, where the T stands for. That's the end of today's video 1. Remember, Comic Book Click will have video 2. Twitch.tv/PulseGlazer should have live me later. So hopefully you stop by for all of that. And I'll see you tomorrow with some more Snap Take. Peace.